And
Yeah,
yeah,
we've known each other.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just people had asked.
No. I was just gonna say we've known each other for almost 3 years is what I was gonna say, and just that's kind of crazy.
Crazy.
That's my
Isn't
friends.
it?
Yeah, that's us. Hello.
The really weird thing is that like streamer years versus real person years are so different. So like I noticed that you would do this, Bo, where you'd be like, oh yeah, this thing that's like relatively recent in your life, and it's like back when we met. And then when you talk about when we met, it's like eons ago in the old times. Because like
In the olden days.
VTubers have like a shelf life of like 1 year. Like the odds of a VTuber still existing after a year, it's hazy. So like if you've known someone for 3 years as a VTuber, that's forever, right? You're you know, you're gonna
Definitely
be
feels that
there
way.
throughout your lifetime. Yeah, like
Streamer years are like dog years.
they are.
Kind of. Certainly feels that way. It's so weird because it feels like it's going fast, but it also feels like it's been so long. You know what I mean? Like it's like a weird in between of like it's going too fast, but it's also kind of slow at points.
I mean, like for me, I feel like when I like meet somebody and I'm friends with them, it takes me a while to like fully, I guess, open up
Yeah.
and like be comfortable around them. But I feel like because like, you know, being a VTuber, I'm like at least like how I portray myself on stream, it's like the most open that I
Exactly.
can be. Yeah, so it feels like if you make friends like as like yourself that is most like walls down and it's like, you know, relaxed and calm and like you're not like masking that much. It's kind of nice to be able to meet people and then that's why you feel a lot closer. It feels like the time we've known each other, I feel like it's been more impactful than like the same amount of years knowing people that I know in like real life, if that makes sense.
No, I can
That's
see
why
that.
also why I consider you guys like some of like, you know, two of my best friends because like I have friends that I've known for like a decade, right? But like I also consider them my best friends, but I also consider you guys my best friends. I feel like I don't know. I feel really, really close to you. I feel like really, really close to you both. And like I haven't known you guys as long as my other friends, but still, it's different. I'm like most relaxed and open.
I don't
and I
really
appreciate that.
socialize. I don't really socialize, right? And like you guys know this. And like that's kind of always how it's been. Like the way that I became friends with like Joe and John and that whole group of people, I might have talked about this on stream, is I would do their dishes. So I did a project with John's older brother and he was like, "Hey, like you're cool. Like, you know, you should come over and hang out sometime. Like this is my dorm, right?" And I wanted to, and I didn't really know how to. And keep in mind, I was feral and a child, and I had never really done the whole friend thing before. But I was like, "Frick it, I'm gonna do it. Like I'm gonna go for it." And he'd been complaining about like, "Oh yeah, my roommates never do the dishes. It's like really messy, whatever." So I crawled in through his window at 3 a.m. and I did all of his dishes and I left. And I did that.
What?
Broke into his
You broke
house.
into his house?
You broke in.
I did that for months.
You
They didn't know it was me for months.
Dude, this is like old lore where they used to like leave bread on the side and then like they'd wake up the next morning and like the gnomes would have like cleaned up like all the dishes and the house would be clean. That's the same equivalent. Like you just sneak into the window and do the dishes and they'd be like, "This is crazy."
Well, like
Guys,
literally,
this is a miracle.
So this is like how I became friends with my best friends and like my first friends. Like I had never really had friends before that. And like it was a long time. It was a full year. Like I think after like 4 months, they knew it was me and they would like leave snacks out for me. And sometimes I would sleep on their couch afterwards. And then like in the morning they would find me there and they would like wake me up and I would run out. And then at a certain point, they started like inviting me to stay for movies and I would sleep through all the movies. I would not be awake for them.
That's so cute that you're just like a dish spirit. They're like, well, leaving snacks out.
Yeah, I like that he left snacks out for you. It's very sweet.
And then
Ellie,
like that
For
summer,
months you went through the window. That's the thing that's getting me. Like
Yeah,
you
the
didn't
window,
Have a
like,
key
you
to
didn't-
crawl through the window.
they eventually, okay, so I did a project to make something that would let me into any of the rooms on campus because I thought it would be a funny project. So then after a while, I asked them if it was okay if I made a key card for their door, and they said it was okay. So then I had a key card and I didn't go through the window anymore.
Wait, can we circle back? You made a device that let you open any door on campus?
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly simple. You can kind of do that for... Anyway, so the point is, it was like a full year before we actually started like hanging out. And I didn't really know how to hang out. And it was like a really long time before we'd like just talk. So like when I think about it, like Joe and I became friends about a year after we knew each other. And even then our friendship was basically that he would just like leave out chips for me, and he had like a beanbag chair on his floor, and sometimes I would sleep there.
Cute.
But like, yeah, no, like it took so long for me to get to the point where I was even like talking to these people, let alone like talking about like, you know, deep stuff. It started small. I was like really obnoxious and misanthropic. This was the era of Okay Batman, where like I would like go. I don't know when I started cleaning the dishes in roller skates, but at some point I started doing my cleaning duties in roller skates because I was practicing roller skating. I don't really know when that started. But at some point into there, he would be like, "Hey, we're all like, you know, watching a show. If you want to come join us in the living room," and I would be like, "You say that now, but if I stop doing your chores, you wouldn't want me around." And he would be like, "Okay, dude, sure."
All right.
Very cool. Really fun conversation. And those conversations would kind of get longer. One thing that I love about Joe, one thing that makes him a really good friend is that like he has literally no limit for how long he will just kind of listen to you yap, but also he never loses perspective, right? A lot of people I think would be like, "Hey, it's no good to say that about people," right? Like people are good. Because the thing is, if you're saying that stuff, you're not saying it really because you believe it. Even if you do believe it, you're saying it because it hurts good, because you're like, "Yeah, society, I'm gonna get you back." And so the proper response is just like, "Cringe, dude. Come watch shows." Yeah. And so, yeah, it was like a long time of that. There was like one time he cracked when I was like, "Hey, you don't really think I'm your friend. You don't really want to be my friend." And he was like, "Dude, you have eaten so many of my chips." Like,
brother, it's too late now. I've made an investment.
I have wasted so many chips on you. If I don't like you, if I don't want to spend time with you, what the frick have I been doing? I want my chips back.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. It's been an investment at that point.
Yeah, and then, you know, it's just, yeah, a lot of years since then. But, like, to get to the point where we were just kind of, like, yapping about things in our lives that we, like, started with, you know, because we're streamers, it was literally years.
You manifested that.
Yeah.
You worked hard.
Honestly, he worked. Honestly, he put in the hours for that.
But you really wanted the friendship.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it took a long time to domesticate me, but I am fully domesticated now. I can sit down on a couch and watch a movie.
Let's go. That's big.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa.
I kind of understand. Like sometimes I'll meet people that I think are really cool, and I'm like, I want to be their friend. Will I do anything like really bold and brave to be their friend? No. But I'll take very little baby steps, close my eyes, cross my fingers, and hope that we become friends.
Dude, that's what we did.
And honestly, literally, and most of the time it worked out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm so foolish, but also so confident that if I'm like, I want to be their friend, and I do these little baby steps of just like, hey, you're cool. Bye. It'll eventually happen.
I think that it mostly
the persistent
will.
predator for friendships.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah. A predator.
I don't think I would call myself a predator, but that I have an objective. You know, I don't do anything crazy. I just kind of like, yeah, we're gonna be friends one day.
Yeah. I think there's something really brave about that, though.
Yeah.
I think there's something like, yeah, like a lot of people just wouldn't even take those first steps. The fact that you're even like, even though you're like, I close my eyes and cross my fingers, I still think there's something very brave to be said about.
Bo just slams and just
stuff.
Like jumps through the wall like the Kool-Aid man, and he's like, "We're friends now."
I really do.
It's awesome.
I really do. I've been trying to get like better at not just being like, yeah, we're friends when I just barely know someone, because like I'm like legit dog behavior where someone's nice to me once and I'm like, that's my friend right there. I'm like, don't talk bad about them. I need to be like, relax, man. Relax a little. Like hold back a little. Get to know them just a little bit more before you're like, yeah, that's my friend. And they're like, I don't even know who you are really. I don't. But okay, yes, we're friends. And I'm like, let's go. I've been trying to do what you do. I've been trying to do like little baby steps with things. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I think it depends on the person, because like for me, it was nice that you're like, we're friends. Like, we are, yippee!
Yeah, I do remember.
I wanted to be friends.
We did have that conversation when we were when we all both of you first met me. Was me being like, yeah, man, we're friends, and you guys being like, huh? And I'm like, yeah. And you guys are like, okay, all right, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I remember when I had to be like, just to clarify. And then at one point I was like, so I consider us best friends. Can I say we're best friends? You know? I'm like, can I officially say we are best friends? And then it's like, yes, cool. And then I can like, hee hee, best friends, yippee.
I do. I really love that about you two, though. Like I said, I do sometimes jump the gun, so it was very sweet having you guys be like, "Hey, just to ask, like, are we like best friends or are we like friends?" And I could be like, "Yeah, we're best friends," and you guys would be like, "Okay, cool." Like it just, I don't know. It felt good having someone be like, "I'm gonna submit this, so I know for sure," right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
I love handing in assignments.
Mhm. Me too.
I love hitting the submit button at 11:59 p.m.
Just two little tryhards.
Yeah.